When you think of the 2018 NBA draft, which players automatically come to mind for you? There was a lot of talented players that got drafted that night, like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But many people seem to forget that the Phoenix Suns had the first overall pick in that year's draft. And with that pick, they selected a stud out of the University of Arizona. And although he might have had an underwhelming rookie season, he's developed very nicely and has become a key piece for a contending Phoenix Suns team. Welcome to Small Market Stars. This is a series I created to highlight star players on smaller market teams that don't receive much love from the media. So far in the series, we've had a look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and domantas Sabonis. So if you're interested in either video, I'll leave a link to them in the description below and in the top right corner of the screen right now. For this episode, if you enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe, as that always helps to support my small channel to grow and reach more new people, as well as to let you know whenever I post, which is daily. And make sure you leave a comment letting me know which small market star I should have a look at next. Also, just a heads up, I'm gonna start streaming soon on Twitch while playing games like 2K22 and Star Wars with a face cam. So if you're curious of what I look like or just want to sit back and chill with me, you can stop by. I don't have a schedule set in stone just yet, but I'll give you a heads up on my Twitter. Twitch.tv/NKClouted. The link to my Twitch and every other platform I use like Twitter will always be in the description. Thank you so much for all the recent support. You guys are awesome. And now let's have a look at DeAndre Ayton's career. DeAndre Ayton was a one-and-done prospect at the University of Arizona. In the one season he played, he averaged roughly 20 points, 11.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 2 blocks a game. Although Arizona was eliminated in the first round of March Madness, Ayton remained as a top prospect due to his potential. DeAndre Ayton was 7'1", 250 pounds, had a 7'5" wingspan, and a 43.5" vertical. You heard that right. Ayton has one of the highest record verticals in the league, and he can get his head to the rim. The head coach of Arizona, Sean Miller, had this to say about Ayton's physical abilities. "I've never seen anyone like him. I don't think I will again. It's just because he's so physically imposing." He was the clear #1 pick, and he got some lofty comparisons on draft night. ESPN's Jay Williams compared him to David Robinson and Anthony Davis. I'm not sure if Ayton can reach that legendary level, but he certainly has the tools to make it happen. DeAndre Ayton was selected with the first overall pick by the Phoenix Suns, and on draft night, the consensus was that he should have gone first, so there was no surprise there. His career got off to a pretty solid start. In his rookie year, he played 71 games and put up 16.3 points, 10.3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and just under 1 steal and block a game. Ayton wasn't really attempting any threes early on in his career, but his overall field goal percentage was solid at 58.5%. The 11 games that he didn't play was because of his sprained ankle, or else he would have played all 82 games in his rookie year. DeAndre Ayton became only the third rookie in the last 10 years to average a double-double, joining elite company in Karl Anthony Towns and Blake Griffin. However, he only finished third in Rookie of the Year voting behind Luka Doncic and Trae Young. It's very unfortunate to see him have an amazing rookie season, but get overshadowed by two players who just had a more surprising rookie campaign and flashier playstyles. After Luka Doncic won the Rookie of the Year over DeAndre Ayton and the rest of the 2018 rookie class, many began to wonder if Phoenix had made the wrong decision by selecting Ayton. This mindset would be further thought of after his sophomore season, which got off to a rocky start as he ran into some trouble with the league. During his first week of the season, he failed a drug test by testing positive for diuretic. For those who aren't aware, as it is a pretty uncommon drug, diuretic is a substance that increases the production of urine and is commonly used to help people pass drugs by cleaning out their body. DeAndre Ayton was suspended for 25 games as his first violation. That, accompanied by another ankle sprain, left Ayton at appearing only in 38 games for the Suns. These two major events in his sophomore year really turned the tables for people's outlooks on Ayton. Many questioned if he should have been selected with the first overall pick because at that point, Luka Doncic had become an all-NBA level player and Trae Young was looking like an all-star in as little as 2 years from then. I'm not gonna lie, I was in the same boat as everyone else because DeAndre Ayton's second year was very rocky and the hype seemed to die out, making him super underrated. If you look solely off his numbers, you think he'd improve as he was up in almost every category, averaging 18.2 points, 11.5 rebounds, almost 2 assists, and 1.5 blocks while shooting 54.6% from the field. Although those numbers were an increase, I think it was to be expected because he was getting a lot more touches compared to his rookie year. Last year, specifically during the playoffs, was when DeAndre Ayton started to live up to the first overall pick expectations. Up until the start of the 2020-2021 season, the Suns were viewed as a franchise that was nowhere near championship contention, but with Chris Paul being added to the roster, views quickly changed and many saw them being a lower seeded playoff team. But by the end of the season, the Suns managed to end up being the second seed in the loaded Western Conference. This was mostly due to Chris Paul's leadership and his otherworldly ability to bring a team together, but DeAndre Ayton was also part of the reason for the team's success. Although his stats were down last year at 14.4 points, 10.5 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.6 steals, and 1.2 blocks, it was obvious that it wasn't his fault because less possessions were dedicated and ran through him, and that becomes evident when we compare his 2-point field goal attempts from the year prior to last year and last year, which went from 14.6 attempts to just 9.7. I think it's only right to have a look at some of DeAndre Ayton's best games from his career in the NBA. On December 29th of 2018, DeAndre Ayton put up his rookie season high of 33 points while also grabbing 14 rebounds as well as getting 4 steals. On February 8th, 2020, DeAndre Ayton had a monster stat line putting up 28 points, 19 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. On January 20th, 2021, DeAndre Ayton had another great game, scoring 26 points and also getting 17 rebounds and 5 blocks. Like I said before, during his first postseason, DeAndre Ayton was ready to play. The first game of the playoffs saw Ayton dropping 21 points and grabbing 16 rebounds, and in the first game of the NBA Finals, DeAndre Ayton had 22 points and 19 rebounds. One moment many fans remember from DeAndre Ayton's 2021 playoff run was Game 2 against the Clippers when he caught a lob with 0.9 seconds left on the clock and dunked it down, securing a 2-0 Suns lead. DeAndre Ayton had a stellar postseason run, especially considering it was his first time there. DeAndre Ayton is the definition of a double-double man. Him getting 10 a night is almost certain, and he is capable of grabbing boards in the dozens. He can put up some points too, but he isn't number one option worthy just yet on offense. Maybe as time goes and he develops his game, he can become a potential number one option. So that begs the question, why haven't you heard of DeAndre Ayton? I believe the main reason is quite obvious, and that's because Phoenix is a definition of a small market team. They have a very loyal fan base, but have had a hard time reaching mainstream media markets. Only recently, with them having success in the playoffs, have forced the media to shine some light on the team from Arizona. Before signing Chris Paul in 2020, the Suns didn't have a winning season since 2014, and they hadn't made the playoffs since 2011. Only the Kings had a longer drought than them. Luckily, the Suns have seriously stepped up their game in the past 2 years, and they've been getting a lot more attention. DeAndre Ayton's teammates Chris Paul and Devin Booker are both guaranteed All-Stars this season, and both pair very nicely together. DeAndre Ayton is an amazing third piece to the puzzle, and although Ayton doesn't get the recognition he deserves oftentimes, he has seen a little more love from the media and fans alike. DeAndre Ayton has a chance to become a top 5 center in the league in a few years. The young dynamic duo of Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton can be the next great duo in the league, and they both can be 20 plus point per game scorers. I don't want to sound too ahead of myself, but I do see slight glimpses of Ayton and Booker looking like Kobe and Shaq, but maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. DeAndre Ayton is an amazing player that can help make sure Phoenix stays relevant in the years to come, and that's why you should care. DeAndre Ayton is an incredible athlete and a very talented center, but he still has ways to improve. Though he is more of a traditional center, I'd like to see him develop a jump shot. Nothing too crazy, but just enough for him to hit a corner 3 or run a pick and fade. He's only hit 8 3-pointers as the making of this video. This is a good sign, and all he needs is time to start knocking them down. He also has to stay out of trouble, but that comes with maturity. He ran into a scandal in college where he was accepting money to the university who offered the most. He also had that failed drug test, but keep in mind he's only 22. He has to mature and adjust to the league, so I don't think it's going to be a pattern. Before we talk about DeAndre Ayton's projections, I just wanted to remind you to leave a like on this video, because if you made it this far, it means you're enjoying it, so why not support me by dropping a like? Subscribe to get notified whenever I post, which is daily, and leave a comment letting me know what you think of the video and who I should have a look at next in the Small Market Stars series. Thank you so much for all the recent support, and now let's have a look at Ayton's projections. I think DeAndre Ayton has a great future, and he can only go up from here. His work ethic will determine where his career will go. I'm sure he can be a solid player, but I just hope that he ends up being a key role on a competitive team and not just collecting empty stats. His floor would have to be Andre Drummond and Zach Randolph type players. A big man who can give you a few buckets in the post and rebound the ball. His ceiling would have to be Joel Embiid or Patrick Ewing. If he develops a 3 and is able to handle the ball a little bit better, I can see him being like Joel. And if not, he can be a dominant post player like Ewing. And now, as always, I leave it up to you. How do you think DeAndre Ayton's career will pan out? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, leave a like and subscribe to get notified whenever I post and to support the small channel. And as always, until next time, cheers.